again. Hi, it's Annie.
That was good. You should do it.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Long Story Short.
That was good.
Thank
Congratulations.
You. That felt a little uncomfortable, but I think we'll get used to it over time.
I mean, we start every episode with hi.
Hi.
Oh, well, that was your imitation of me.
Oh,
Perfect.
sorry.
Okay, wait. You edited. Do you have some things to say?
Always.
Always. Okay, can we get right into it?
Are we going to start with the news of the week?
Of course.
Okay. Should I start or should you? Do you want me to give a little context?
Yeah, but can I also just say that, can I set my scene?
Mm-hmm.
The Badgers, have just lost in the first round of the NCAA tournament, okay?
A modern day tragedy.
My national champions.
Yeah.
Yeah. My alma mater, you look great.
Thank you.
I texted my group chat of all my friends.
Uh-huh.
And I say something inappropriate along the lines of like, no, it's fine, guys. I'll just
die.
Yeah. And I get no responses. I'm like, okay, no one cares about me. Long and the short of it is that I put my phone away. A couple of my friends respond being like, what's going on? And then they immediately proceed into talking about the Taylor Frankie Paul Bachelorette season being canceled. But the only text I see is Lindsay say something along the lines of like ABC like is so dumb for like doing that. And I like for casting her, but all she said was doing that. So I went to go respond to that text and I had typed out like, guys, it's CBS and TNT. Like those are the no one was talking about the basketball game. No. And also I am not hip to everything that I was not hip to everything that was going on with the Mormon wives. So let's give our viewers a little bit of context. Let's give me a little bit of context. Can you explain?
Do you not watch the Mormon wives? I forget.
I do.
I know we talked about them in Ep 2.
I do. And you know how we talk about things like things that like I'm not knowing anything about or whatever. Like the Mormon wives is something that like I don't really think I need to be hip to every episode in order to be deeply understanding of what's going on with them. I will say this current season I have not watched any of Mormon wives.
Okay.
However, I am incredibly invested in their place in pop culture and their story.
Okay.
Dancing with the Stars and all.
Okay. So basically the woman who's like the main sort of centerpiece, if you will, of the Hulu, just absolute gem of a television show, The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, is what?
She the first episode ever is her getting arrested, right?
Yeah, so in the first episode she gets arrested for domestic violence against her partner Dakota, like boyfriend, who then later becomes the father of her child, and then whatever. It's like a mess. The show's always been a mess. She's always been kind of a mess, but she's kind of been like she's the star of the show. Mm-hmm. And ABC made her the Bachelorette,
which was crazy to begin with, right?
I mean, you could argue it's crazy they even continued with the show after she had a domestic violence
1,000%.
I think for whatever reason, myself included, honestly, like people had kind of just like started to distance her from like that story. Like people were, because also there was no video footage of it. She said Dakota also like threw her to the ground. People grew to really like her, I think, over the season. So I think people were just kind of like willing to give her a second chance.
And can I have a clarifying question. Yes. Is Dakota in The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives?
Boy, is he ever. And boy, do I wish he wasn't. He's like the main guy, kind of. And most of the show, especially, honestly, the whole show has kind of centered around this incredibly toxic relationship they have. They keep going back to each other every few episodes. They're screaming at each other, then they sleep together that night. Like, so as this season was unfolding, it was already kind of looking weird that she was the Bachelorette, because throughout the whole season, and I haven't finished the season, but I'm almost done with it, she and Dakota sleep together. They're still clearly so obsessed with each other. She finds out he slept with someone else. She starts sobbing and screaming at him. Like, They haven't been together in over a year.
Was this like a Hail Mary from The Bachelorette to get viewers? Like, why make that choice?
so.
It sounds like she's a little, not she, sorry, let me rephrase. It sounds like their relationship is a little bit tumultuous and erratic.
I think that they want to bring a younger audience to The Bachelorette. And I think there's a younger audience watching Secret Lives of Mormon Wives right now.
And probably as a strategic decision post Dancing with the Stars viewership, they were like, let's do this.
Although they made that announcement, I think, before Dancing with the Stars even.
Oh.
I think.
Okay.
This has been a thing for a long time. Because this season filmed in October.
Right.
Of Mormon Wives. And in the season, they're like, oh, Paul Taylor.
Totally.
Is about to leave to film The Bachelorette.
But also, okay, can I say something? Like, I don't know. Bachelor and Bachelorettes hook up with people before they go on their season.
Yes. And the girls kind of make this point on the show. Like, if you were on the show and you found out that even if you weren't the Bachelor or the Bachelorette, if you found out this has happened before. Oh, one of my contestants who claims he's here to find love with me was like slept with his ex the night before he left and is not over her, he would get kicked off the show by the Bachelorette. Like that, that is a thing. Like,
yeah,
whatever.
And also she knew she was being filmed.
And especially if you're
on both
the
shows.
Bachelorette.
Yeah.
Like,
right. And she also was being
love.
filmed on another reality television show before she left that was going to capture what was going on. I get it.
So
yeah.
So, but basically, the whole thing was already sort of starting to unravel because people were saying that Taylor I don't actually know exactly what she posted, but she posted something that kind of like spoiled how the season ended. Everyone knew she ended up with this guy Doug, who I think was also like a Mormon from Utah.
I mean, yeah.
Right. It's like she could have just like
gone on some dates
and gone down the road to her local swig.
Right. And it would have been right.
Whatever. So, but then reports started coming out from, guess who? You remember Reality Steve.
Stop. He's
still kicking.
Wow.
That she left Doug and went back to Dakota, or either went back to Dakota or left Doug because she wasn't over Dakota, in like the least surprising fucking turn of events in the entire world, because these two just like can't stop with this weird fucking dynamic.
And he's abusive emotionally, correct? Dakota.
He's a piece of shit, is what I'll say.
People have been comparing him to Steven from Tell Me Lies, which is everything I need to know about him.
I haven't seen Tell Me Lies. I definitely don't like him at all.
Yeah.
Macklin has been watching episodes with me here and there, and I think yesterday, the day before, Dakota was on the screen, and he was like, this guy just seems like the worst ever.
Does he? Yeah.
But so basically, long story short, the video so Taylor was arrested again for domestic violence against Dakota in February. That news came out a couple weeks ago, and then the couple days before I think, was her season supposed to premiere on Monday? TMZ somehow got a hold of the video that Dakota took on his phone.
I thought
it's unclear.
Okay. People think he's released.
Some people do. Some people think it could have been a lot of different people, but because TMZ probably paid a fuck ton of money for it.
Yeah, but who had that video?
Police.
Yeah, I guess.
He could have sent it to other people, whatever. So have you seen the video?
Yes.
Really?
Once.
Okay.
I don't want to watch it again.
It's like one of the most disturbing. So the video from that 2023 incident was leaked by TMZ.
Where she was arrested.
And it's like truly one of the most disturbing things I've ever watched.
Yes. I agree. Yes.
And now they canceled her season of The Bachelorette, and Secret Lives of Mormon Wives filming for this current season was in progress and is now on pause. I can tell you have thoughts. Would you like to share?
So many.
Okay. I'm sensing we might have some disagreements on this.
Yeah, I think we will.
Okay.
I have a lot of thoughts.
Okay, tell me.
The first being that I think I was texting you about this earlier because I was watching the new Giggly Squad episode, and Rachel was like, wait, that's like freaky how much you just said all of that, which is what Paige was saying about this, was that it's horrible what she did in that video. ABC made the decision to have her be the star of the show after the fact, after she was arrested for domestic violence. And I think that that's really weird. They continued to film Secret Lives of Mormon Wives after that incident as well, which, like, I think that, like, I don't want to speak for you, but, like, as someone who has not been the victim or the perpetrator of, like, a domestic abuse situation, the video is horrifying. It's disgusting. It's terrible. And also, like, that's typically what that means when someone gets arrested for domestic abuse and convicted for domestic abuse. And so, like, a couple things, and this is like a weaker point, but my first point is, like, I'm having trouble understanding why, like, it just strikes me as like, oh, well, that's not what we meant. We didn't, when we thought that she was, like, accused of domestic violence, we didn't think it meant that. And it's like, well, what did you think it meant? Because that's textbook what a domestic violence situation that a child is involved in looks like. So that I'm kind of like, yeah, we're seeing this video, but it didn't happen last week. You made the decision to go ahead, and that's a separate conversation, but you made the decision to go ahead with having her be a very prominent reality television star after she was arrested. And I feel like now that the public is the majority, thank God, of which has not been privy to that type of situation before, now everyone is, like, clutching their pearls, being like, well, we can't have her on our television. And it's like, what did you think was going on? It's just weird to me that people have to see it firsthand. We talked about this a lot on the podcast of, like, these horrible things are happening, and they're happening when people, you don't need a TikTok video to know that was what was going on in this situation. So I think that part is just a little bit weird, firstly. Then my other point is that, like, it pisses me off the amount of people, and this was Paige's point on Giggly Squad today, the amount of men that have continued to have careers and have continued to have, like, a really large spotlight, platform, following, who've done really terrible things and continue to play football, baseball, golf. I mean, I could name a million men right now that have not felt the consequences of really bad decisions and actions. I find the, like, sexism piece here to be pretty crazy, given the exact same network just made the decision to have Colton Underwood on Traitors.
Different network, but
sorry. Oh,
Traitors is NBC
and
Hulu/ABC.
ABC. Sorry. Okay. But, like, I just find it to be disturbing, the, like, outpour of, like discomfort this is causing people when, like, there's been very detailed accounts of, like, Colton Underwood and many athletes doing really terrible things. And I just find this particular situation to just be, like, odd. Like, the sequence of events was just odd. And I think ABC made a really bad decision when they decided to continue, in the same way that I think a lot of the NFL and the NBA make really bad decisions to continue to let really terrible people, like, play in the league.
Yeah. I think I have a lot of different thoughts. First of all, I agree with what you're saying. I think you'll agree with this too. Like, I think the solve for that is not to let Taylor Frankie Paul be the Bachelorette, but to be more
right.
Like, to do what we just did to her, to all of the men who do the same things.
I agree.
Like, I don't think you're saying, like, oh, we should just let it go because all these men do all this stuff. Like,
no.
Right. It's like we have to give that same energy to all these men who do this all the time. And why don't we?
Because I think then you get into situations like the Epstein files, where, like, these things go unchecked, and then you have, like, this whole system of people that have no, like, moral, like standard in terms of what it takes to be like a successful person in our society.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that we should air her season of The Bachelorette. I'm just saying the double standard is a little crazy.
I also think that a couple things. First of all, I think part of the reason that this happened is because The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives is apparently on pause right now because all of the women were refusing to film with Taylor. It wasn't like ABC executives when she got arrested the second time. I mean, clearly they had no issue with the original arrest in 2023. It wasn't like when she got arrested the second time, they were like, we've got to shut this down. It was the women being like,
right.
No. I feel like there are different audiences and different standards for a show like The Bachelorette and a show like The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. And I think that like, I mean, The Bachelorette has always been so fucking pearl clutchy, white, southern, straight, conservative.
Like the fantasy suites were like the craziest thing ever. And it's like, yes, people want to have sex before they get engaged.
Right. And so I think that like clearly they were trying to bring an edgier, newer vibe to the franchise. But I don't think, I don't think it just was never going to work for that franchise to air her season after that video came out.
Right. That's, yeah.
I think that like maybe, like I think we might still see her back on our screens on Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. I don't know for sure. I think that also the whole ethical question of reality TV, the show started out about the moms. Dakota and all of the husbands and boyfriends were only on the show as like side characters, especially in the beginning. Dakota was, I would say, the most relevant one in the beginning because there was so much drama around the two of them. I'm sure they would still be having their toxic shit off camera, even if he wasn't on the show anymore. But like, they have continued to keep him around, like they brought him to the reunion production, even though Taylor specifically for the last season was like, I do not want him here.
Yeah.
I don't think he wanted to be in the same room as her either. He made all the women leave when he came in. Regardless of what happened between them and who's in the wrong, she's clearly in the wrong, at least to some extent. I'm inclined to think he is as well. Like, the fact that they keep putting these people on the same show and, like, forcing them to interact. And we all know how reality TV works at this point. We're not dumb. They try to up the ante.
Yeah.
And, like the episodes I'm watching right now, they're bringing this woman who's never been on the show before, but who's apparently like tangentially in these women's social circles. She's now sleeping with Dakota.
Right.
So of course they've now brought her onto the show, and I haven't finished the season, but I'm pretty sure it's not going to end well when Taylor finds out about that.
Well, yes.
And again, if you know that these people have a history of domestic complaints against each other, like, and you're still stirring the pot in this way, like, yeah, like,
right.
No
It's
wonder
really
this
messy
happened again, like, whatever. And then the last thing I'll say, I just think she needs psychological help. And I'm not even saying that to be like, she's crazy. Like, that video is someone who needs psychological help. And the fact that it happened again 3 years later leads me to believe that, like, she still does. And I hope she gets it. And I don't think we need to, like, I think you can, how do I want to say this? I'm disgusted by that video. I don't like her at all, honestly. But, like, I do think the level of public scrutiny she's getting right now when we don't know the full story.
No. And also, like, it's really hard for me to believe that was unprovoked. And whether that was emotional or physical, we don't know. And so to your point about reality TV, it's like, I feel I saw a TikTok recently about how similar Salt Lake City in the 2020s is to New Jersey from the early 2010s, and how, like, you had, like, Jersey Shore, then you had Real Housewives of New Jersey, then you had
Cake Boss.
No, literally, or like 16 and Pregnant there were a lot of Jersey people. And I just remember getting, how do I want to say this? Like, you get invested in these people, and the best TV, in my opinion, and this is like horrible, and I'm going to continue my sentence, so let's just not take this part out of context, but like, the best TV is when it's really what's going on in these people's lives, whether that's families, whether that's, and then at least with Jersey, like they had this really great decade. And then at the end of it, you were like, wait, now Joe Gorga and Teresa Giudice literally can't be with their parents anymore together because of how fucked up their relationship is. Like, I'm actually kind of horribly sad now. Or maybe watching like
Ron abused Sam.
Right. Ron abused Sam on Jersey Shore is like, ooh, maybe this is way more fucked up than just like entertainment for entertainment's sake. And to see what happened with Robert Jr., with Mary Cosby.
I haven't even talked about that, yeah.
Like Mary Cosby on Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, her son passed away. He overdosed, right?
Yeah, I mean, I know he struggled with addiction. I think it was an overdose.
Yeah. So anyway, I just think that like it's entertaining, and the more entertaining it gets, I think the closer you get to touching like real life issues when things feel like so like visceral, because it's like, yeah, it is, because these are these people's real lives. And so like it does beg the question of like how much of this is ethical and how much of it is not.
Also money, like there's so much money tied up in it.
Right.
And the thing about Mormon Wives is like, to be fair, the show is not that interesting if you take Taylor out of it. Like,
yeah,
she's the most interesting one. They built the show off of her. And also I think people are getting sick of it, honestly. I mean, especially now, but even before all of this, the her and Dakota stuff is the most sort of like volatile, crazy shit.
Right.
So when people are being incentivized to keep upping the ante and like ratcheting up this dynamic between them,
they're going to put them in the same room and bring them to the reunion and all that stuff you said.
We've said this before, but like the thing that really like just makes me be like, no, is the fact that there's kids involved in all of this. Like they have a kid together.
That's why I'm
her
like,
daughter was present during all of this stuff.
That's
in
why I'm like, if he was the one that released it, like,
do you see it was released on their son's birthday too?
Yeah, I'm like, this is just so. Anyway, all of that to say, I think that what I'm interested in, and I want your opinion on this, is why is Summer House as good as it is and having such a moment in a very different way? Because to me, the conversations on Summer House around race, the fact that we actually are rooting, at least I am rooting for this friend group. Like, am I rooting for Carl and Lindsay to have some sort of like romantic reconnection? No, I'm glad that they're like getting along. I feel like it's really entertaining in a really different way. And I wonder if we'll continue to see more like healthy dynamics and productive conversations with reality television, because I do feel like whatever ABC was trying to do with The Bachelorette, like I could name 7 young girls who are like progressive and awesome and like amazing that they could have cast as The Bachelorette and gotten that same young audience interested.
There are even other women from that show who are like, why wouldn't you cast Miranda or Layla or whatever? But like, yeah, I don't know. I think Summer House is such an outlier. It almost feels like more relatable.
Well, that's why I'm like, maybe that's why I'm like, maybe we need more reality. Maybe I disagree with people that say that in order for reality television to be entertaining, it has to be volatile and messy in this way, because, and I think Summer House is Exhibit A, and it's like,
I think it's harder to do though.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. My argument, and it's the way that I feel about comedians who don't have to rely on like pedo or homophobic jokes, where I'm like, oh, you're actually funny because you don't have to go for the low-hanging fruit. I think that the reason that that's the case is because if you took Taylor out, if you took Dakota out of that show, it's not a very good show.
Right.
The people aren't very interesting.
It's like, right, you don't have to recast. The production doesn't have to like come up with new storylines. Like if they throw them in a room, they know it's a good episode. It's like, it's kind of lazy.
It's lazy. Lazy. That's exactly what I was trying to say. And it's how I feel.
The show is very lazy too. Like, in fairness, this is just out of all the reality television I've watched, it's a lazy show. Yeah.
And that's how I feel about comedians who go for like stupid humor when you could instead write a really, I don't know, you could do a really smart bit about emojis.
Like Marcelo?
Yeah. I love that Summer House is like antithetical to the belief that you have to get like really dark and insane like plot lines in order for reality TV to be interesting, I think you might just have to work a little harder.
I agree.
And so maybe the Bachelor, Bachelorette franchise needs to get interesting young people who will bring that audience that aren't involved in like a domestically abusive relationship.
I always thought it was a weird choice.
Yeah.
Honestly. And like, honestly, like not to tell on myself, but I didn't even think it was weird initially because of the domestic violence stuff. Because I wasn't thinking about it. Like, I feel like the public
They
had
brushed
kind of
over, yeah,
about it. I just thought it was like not a good fit. And that was our reality recap of the day. Thank you for listening. Where should we go now?
I don't
Annie?
know. I have a quick question. So, have you seen the discourse online about red carpets and journalism and influencers?
Like, I've seen it's existing, but I like love Jake Shane, and so I haven't really wanted to engage because like I know people are kind of hating on him right now.
Can I tell you my thoughts on it?
Can you tell me about it first? And
Yeah.
then tell me your thoughts. Yeah.
So it started honestly, and like, okay, not my three faves. It started honestly with when Paige and Hannah did the Vanity Fair Golden Globes.
Yeah.
Was it Golden Globes red carpet?
Or SAG maybe?
Yeah.
Or something.
No, Paige just did a SAG something. It was Hannah and Paige doing.
Oh, with like the Megan Thee Stallion thing.
Well, that was
Bad.
That was bad and separate. But yes. Not separate. It was the same night. But people were just kind of like,
They weren't great. Or
people didn't think that they were great red carpet. And I really, so Jake Shane hosted the after party at the Vanity Fair Oscars after party with
Gwen Blackwell?
Yeah, and someone else.
Oh, Brittany Broski?
Yes. Precisely. And people were just saying that like he didn't do like a great job and that like it felt the discourse online was just like, this isn't journalism. Okay. Or like what has happened like to like journalism. Okay.
I mean, good cue, but
No,
probably misdirected.
Exactly. So I could not articulate all of this in the way that I wanted to until I saw Eli Rallo's TikTok and all the comments were like, how does it feel to be right about everything always? She put this, you're like, you know.
Like, just ask me.
Yeah. She said, first of all, Hannah and Paige. Okay. I have so many things to say on this topic and I'm curious your thoughts. I don't think that as a society, the red carpet Oscars after party has ever been like the sort of litmus test for like good journalists.
No, I couldn't tell you who's ever hosted it before. I could make an educated guess.
Also, even the people on Primetime E, who, by the way, I love, Juliana Rancic, Ryan Seacrest, like in their day, they were everything to me. Joan Rivers, Fashion Police, like she was everything to me.
Famously.
Those are not
Journalists.
hard-hitting journalistic.
I think Juliana went to journalism school just to clear her name.
Great.
But, like, I
and,
agree.
And if you want to go to journalism school and then do the red carpet or the Vanity Fair Oscar party, like pop the fuck
Live
off.
your fucking dream.
If you want to have a conversation about journalism in America, I want to see you talk about journalism in America and the issues that we have with news organizations and how these are not sit down, tell all. Jake Shane did an interview a week ago where some guy asked him, like, do you consider yourself a journalist? And he was like, that's offensive to journalists. I'm not a journalist. I sit down with celebrities. If they have things they don't want to talk about, I don't talk about them. My whole thing and who I am as an influencer is that I let people like be like I want people to feel like they're sitting down in like a private conversation with X, Y, and Z, and that they're really getting to know role model or Kerry Washington or whoever it is. Trying, and this was the part that Eli Rallo said that so resonated with me. It was like, are you concerned about journalism? Or are you just looking to tear a really successful person down because the way that they're doing something isn't, it's so...
Like, it's maybe not your preference, and that's okay.
And that's okay. Since when do you care about who hosts the Vanity Fair Oscars after party? If you want to talk about journalism, let's talk about Fox News. If you want to talk about...
Right.
Like...
I feel like, too, it's... Yeah, it just feels misdirected to me. It's also like, I don't know, whatever. We could have like an ethical conversation about Jake Shane if we want. But like, I fucking love Jake Shane, and I think he brings a lot of people joy. And like, there's plenty of things we can have dark, weird, like conversations about right now that we should, such as the state of journalism in our country.
Correct.
But why are we directing that anger towards like
Jake,
this little man who's making us laugh?
And also, the other part of this that I find so... The criticism that I find so like reprehensible is like, first of all, like I said, I don't think the Vanity Fair Oscars party is like the like mecca of like quality journalism in this like world.
Yeah.
A. B, there are people who are really good at a hard-hitting sit-down interview, but I don't really want to see George Stephanopoulos with like Kerry Washington like on a couch in Jake Shane's like therapist's office talking about things like TikTok trends. That's his niche. And Barbara Walters has hers. I don't need those people.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. I just think that it's an excuse, and it's a lazy excuse to tear really great people who are good at what they do down when you start to hold them to an unrealistic expectation around like journalism in this country. And it's like, we're at the Oscars at the Vanity Fair after party, and Jake's really funny. And like, I just find it...
Also, I think it's okay if you didn't think he was, or if you would have preferred a different red carpet host, that's fine.
Plenty of people hated Joan Rivers.
Absolutely.
I loved her.
Yes. I feel like this is reminding me of the conversation that we had, very different, but about the Benito Bowl. And it's kind of like, you can just say, you know, it's not my favorite type of music.
Done.
I'm sure other people are loving it though. And then just, you know, put a period on that and end it there.
Right. Because I just think,
it's funny us telling people to have less opinions when we like hop on this mic every day and like spout off. But like, I mean it.
Jake is a really great interviewer. And I think that the holding him to some standard of like elite journalism when that's not, he's never claimed to be a journalist. He's actually said the exact opposite very recently. And I don't need hard-hitting questions at the Vanity Fair Oscar party. I want someone who's going to be fun to watch and that people are going to feel comfortable
also,
with.
Celebrities don't want hard-hitting questions at the Vanity Fair Oscars party. They wouldn't answer them.
Exactly. The reason that he's been able to get the guests that he's had is because he allows them to have guidelines and stipulations for what they can, like, will and won't talk about, which I know is pretty commonplace, but like, he's not trying to do a gotcha on the Vanity Fair Oscars red carpet. And if you want to talk about journalism and the state of journalism in America, that is an entirely different conversation that Jake Shane is not responsible for.
Yeah. You have a lot of anger about that.
It just pisses me off because I think people like to use these like excuses as a way to tear people down. And I think that he's funny and great, and he's never claimed to be anything beyond that. And like, I don't know. It pisses me off.
Agree.
I think that if he said something really offensive, that's a different story.
Totally. Completely agree.
So anyway.
I have something to say about, it's also about people who talk too much.
Much like us.
Are you like on LinkedIn a lot?
If I'm on LinkedIn more than like 3 times a week, you should check in on me. It is not, I used to be. It is not a place. I laugh at it from time to time, such as when people post like what my 3rd trimester taught me about growth marketing.
Well, so this is where I'm going with this. So as you know, I'm on LinkedIn every morning because of my games.
Zip.
Well, there's many. You like to focus on Zip. There's like 6, maybe 7. They just
Wow.
they actually, you know what? Actually, the day after we recorded our last podcast, they launched a new LinkedIn game.
And it's like,
It was called Patches. And listen, I'm not loving it. Do I still play it every day?
Of course.
Yes.
They heard our podcast and they thought, we need to give the people what they want. We have to give them patches.
We have to. It's absolutely time to roll out Patches to the masses.
And you didn't love it.
No. Try again, LinkedIn.
Oh,
Okay.
you heard it here first, and they're listening to us.
Totally. So basically, I just wanted to say that people need to stop posting weird fucking shit on LinkedIn.
Tell me.
Actually, you know what? People can do whatever they want. However, I am going to tell you my opinions on it.
Okay.
So
Maybe you need to spend less time on LinkedIn.
Well, I want to play Queens and Zip and
Right.
Tiles or whatever.
And is it?
the fuck.
I wouldn't know. Can you navigate to those games without going to your like feed?
Not as far as I'm aware, but I'll look into it tomorrow.
Please let me know.
So
There's got to be a workaround.
There's got to be a workaround. So, right, like I can play my New York Times games without having to read the headlines. LinkedIn.
And isn't that?
If you're still listening.
Yeah.
So, okay. Basically, people will just go on there and post shit like today I saw a man get his foot run over by a car, and it made me think I'm so grateful that my manager is a great communicator. It's like, what
the fuck?
Or like
Yeah.
people like really which I think it's one thing if you're like, oh, I'm, coming back from maternity leave and it's hard, like shout out to fellow mothers. Like I think there are use cases for posting on LinkedIn.
Of course.
But like
There's very few things a mother returning from maternity leave to back to work could do that I would be upset about. Like I'm
agree.
always
They
like
kind of-
pop
they
off
kind of have a free pass.
No, they
in
do.
my mind, as they should.
as they freaking should. But yeah.
But so like people will post like my son like spit in his friend's face, and it made me realize the power of collaboration. Like I downloaded Salesforce. It's like, wait, what? It's like the most rogue shit. It's become very like performative too, and people have the same
Yeah.
like the same sort
Cadence.
of cadence where it's like there's usually like a gotcha moment, and it's like,
And you thought I was gonna say da da da, but
right, and
really,
there's like,
comma.
and there's like they'll do like line space,
Yes,
line
yes,
space,
yes.
but really in the world of
performance
data analytics,
Right. What the Brooklyn half marathon taught me about perseverance and branded content, and it's like, wait, how are those two things related?
Wait, like I just found one, but like I don't think I can.
Read some of it. Read parts of it. Summarize.
Like I just saw one of someone announcing the birth of his son on LinkedIn, and
Wrong platform, wrong social media channel.
comparing it to when he discovered a new AI tool at work. I swear to God, I just opened LinkedIn and that was what I saw. I'm not making it up. He said it's kind of like when
The day
his son.
decided that was socially acceptable, we became so much more insufferable as a species.
I also just this is mean. Now I'm being mean.
Say it.
I just don't want to be friends with someone who's sitting around being like, what can I post on LinkedIn today that will just absolutely pop the fuck off and like blow people's minds?
Totally.
Like about my newest CRM tool. Like it's just crazy. And it's like so much of like corporate jargon and like
And
also
people,
it's a lot of it's also a lot of self-congratulatory
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
People will be like, when I was growing up, like my manager would beat me over the head with a ruler. And now, like, I let my employees work from wherever they want. Like,
Whenever
that's
they
the
want.
importance of being a hashtag
chill boss.
real leader. And
Yeah.
it's like, it's like all millennials. Like, I don't know. I'm on there and I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
The girl bossification and guy bossification of LinkedIn is truly something to be studied because people like I've seen posts where like at the end they're like mic period drop.
Yes,
period. I'm like, you can't say mic drop to yourself.
People are always
on a
saying
public platform.
People are always saying mic drop on LinkedIn. You're
But
right.
They're not commenting that. They're part
on
of
their
their
own
post.
post.
Mic drop. Yeah, and you
Also,
ate
like,
Alex from IT on a Wednesday afternoon.
Have you ever encountered like LinkedIn influencers too, where like someone asks to connect with you and you notice that you have like 200 mutual connections, but you have no idea who they are, and they're like founder, girl boss, CEO, ruler of the free world. Like, and it's like, so what do you actually do? And why are you connected with everyone I went to college with? But you're 55.
May that life never find me. Like,
No.
ew.
If you see me typing mic drop on LinkedIn,
Something has gone
send help.
something has gone way wrong.
It's pretty funny though.
I also just am like, it's a very specific age range, I feel like, too, because older people, like, I feel like don't use LinkedIn that much, like 50, 60 plus. Like, a lot of people that I know, their LinkedIn is either like outdated or not. It's just such a generational thing, too. I feel like Gen Z are like unemployed, so they don't really care.
Yeah, Gen Z are like showing up to work in like
a hoodie and hoping for the best.
Yeah.
And then millennials
showing
are
up
like,
to work with a hoodie and a prayer.
Yeah, literally. And millennials are like, what the new iced coffee on my corner taught me about.
It's like, here's why I always tell my direct reports to step out for coffee if they need it.
And everyone's thinking about someone right now that they know.
Reacting like, yes. Like, I don't know, you guys. There's like, I got a new certificate in like
anal. Yeah.
Wait, we can't. Sorry, now we're just being mean.
It's just funny, okay? Sometimes people need to be, like I've said, in some situations, we need to bring back a slight dash of bullying.
No.
Anyway.
You're like, don't be mean to Jake Shane, but bully.
I think sometimes you need to bully Alex from IT, who's posting on LinkedIn.
I've always said that.
One other thing I just want to talk about, because I don't want to miss, it comes and goes so fast.
Mm-hmm. It's just really one shining moment.
Kate?
In time, if you will.
Kate?
You know what?
Mic drop. Yes. I want to talk about March Madness. I want to talk about...
Has it been mad for you this year?
I've been mad. I'll tell you that. A couple things. Mm-hmm. I think that this is the Big Ten's year. I think that Wisconsin's loss in the first round was reprehensible, despicable, and I am disgusted with not only the coaching staff, but also the athletic department as a whole. I'm not over it. I'm really upset about it.
You're not?
So that's just like the first thing I need to say. The second thing that I need to say is that are you aware of mine and Dad's regression analysis statistical project we're doing?
No.
So this is quite possibly the nerdiest thing I've ever done in my entire life.
You guys might be the LinkedIn people.
Oh, I'm not going to post about it.
Yeah, but you're still doing it.
I was just going to say that for as long as I can remember, I've been going to the Big Ten tournament with my dad. Mm-hmm. We've been going for, I think, 13 consecutive years now. Not consecutive. 13 years, we missed 2. 2020, we missed, and the Legally Blonde performance at Deerfield High School. I couldn't.
Famously, that was a must see.
I couldn't make it to Washington D.C. that year because I had to, be part of the production of Legally Blonde. Mm-hmm. But we go every year and we have this long-standing argument around whether or not the conference tournaments the weekend before March Madness make teams more tired and therefore unable to perform as well in the NCAA, the big dance, if you will, the following weekend. And we've had this ongoing argument with one of my dad's best friends, Mike Rosenbaum, if you're listening, shout out.
Oh, he's definitely listening. Hi, Mike.
About how the tournament, his argument, his thesis, his sort of hypothesis is that the tournament, Big Ten, doesn't really matter that much because people want to succeed in the regular tournament, and also like it just makes guys more tired before the final, the next weekend, and why not rest a little bit and get out early. Mm-hmm. Dad and I, on the way to the airport, got into a whole conversation around because he was trying to say that, like, if you look at this and you look at this, then it has to be. And I'm like, so that's correlative. That's not a causal relationship. We may need to do like a little statistics class around like, refuting the null hypothesis, what that means with like a simple regression analysis, et cetera. So, I did put into my chat GPT, an old, I got an A++. You heard it here first. Didn't exist at Wisconsin, but I got an A++ on a...
Much like a good basketball program. Just kidding. Sorry.
Ouch. On a project I did where I used R code to determine essentially if gender biases in different states impacted Hillary Clinton's popularity in the 2016 election. But I controlled for a lot of different variables.
Oh God, I'm sitting with the worst posture.
I am too. Can you just let me, so I know you're bored, but just please hold. so I did a lot of control variables and whatever. Essentially, the p-value was low enough, was small enough that we could reject the null hypothesis, and therefore the states where women were where more women had leadership roles, the more likely people were to vote for Hillary Clinton in the 2016 election. Where people said, thank you. I knew you would get to the point where you were interested again. And so I plugged it into ChatGPT and I said to ChatGPT, hi, I'm doing this. I want to do this exact same thing. And then I matched up the independent and dependent variables for college basketball. Essentially, we're still in the process. Last I heard, Dad was going to pull a bunch of numbers for me. He's yet to do so.
Dad.
But I did get a text back that just said, taxes will have to wait when I set this whole thing up. And I said, totally.
Don't tell the IRS.
So we're going to do like a whole statistical analysis. And essentially what we're trying to refute is the idea that extra rest on Saturday of the Big Ten tournament causes teams to fare better in the big dance, if you will. However, my sample of one, the Badgers doing really well in the Big Ten tournament and then losing in the first round, it's really not helping my argument. So I'm sure Mike is like, with that extra rest.
Help you.
No, Mike would say with that extra rest, they would have done better in the big dance. Something to think about. But anyway.
That was like a crazy last topic.
I was going to say, I do think that probably, I would say 90 to 100% of our listeners have dipped out.
Listen, I'm intrigued. It was just sort of a
crazy
divergence from our typical content, and I loved it.
So if you're into regression analyses,
please subscribe.
Yeah, or if you're into like R coding, I did kind of forget how to code in R, so that's going to be like a little bit of a hurdle.
LinkedIn Learning can help you.
And honestly, I'm going to do a whole post on what extra rest in the final weeks of the NCAA basketball season has taught me about statistical analysis and correlative studies.
And collaborating cross team.
So please look out for that. It's actually like something that I'm really passionate about. And
we can tell.
Yeah.
I think we should
we'll talk Middle Tennessee State next week.
I think the tournament will still be, I think, going on.
You think?
I think. I don't know. It's not my
Elite 8 Sweet 16 this upcoming weekend. We've got just a jam-packed, star-studded coaching night on Friday.
Who's the hot one? Savetsky or something?
Shire?
Yeah.
John Shire.
Yeah.
Totally. I think you were thinking of...
I don't know. I mean, that's who I was thinking of.
Okay.
Is he hot?
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking
to me.
He
went to GBN.
I trust your judgment.
He went to GBN. He was a Duke Blue Devil. He now coaches.
Yes, that's who I'm thinking of.
Yeah, John Shire. Yeah, he's so...
Shy guy.
And then Hurley and Izzo matchup. I mean, it's just a Hall of Fame night of
Michigan
basketball.
State's playing UConn?
You don't know this?
I have war flashbacks to London in 2014.
Kate! Mm-hmm. Deep cut!
Well, I'll never forget it because he traumatized me. Let's leave on a cliffhanger, and next week...
Wait, that was different, though, than the year we were going to talk about.
Yeah, you traumatized me, and I was trying to figure it out. It was 2014 and 2016.
You
traumatized me both years.
And 2015, the only reason I didn't traumatize you is because Wisconsin and Michigan State both went to the Final Four, and we weren't on the same spring break trip. Oh, I'm sorry. I love you.
I love you, too.
It's going to be okay, and I'm not going to freak out this year because my Badgers are already out of the tournament. I love you so much.
But... Oh, I love you too.
What?
Well, no, I don't know.
Okay. I hope everyone has lots of basketball fun.
Have so much basketball fun, everyone.
I'll be doing a statistical analysis.
And I will be posting on LinkedIn.
Love
Bye.
ya. Bye.
Bye, Annie. Love you. Love you.